Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrogate Mysore. Today let us start a new topic on Ketu and its placements in the first house till the 12th house. So this is the last planet which we have to deal with. I have already dealt with all the other planets starting from Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, then Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu. So all these planets in different houses have been dealt with. So today, I'll be doing Ketu in the first house. So I have made some points. So let us discuss one point at a time. So we know Ketu is defined as Chitra Varna. What is Chitra Varna? Chitra Varna means vibrant in color. All the colors mixed, giving a lot of patterns. Very clearly, the person with Ketu in the ascendant will have a lot of thought processes going on. Now, his way of thinking will be very different. High imagination, very acute and pinpointedness in thinking. He can go into subjects very deep and for research. When he can do that in a particular subject, he can do it in most of the subjects. So Ketu has the capacity to ponder deep into subjects, involve whole lifetimes into projects. So this is a very strong planet for achieving great success in research. So we usually call this person as an odd man out. That's because not many will actually agree to achieve success. If you ask many people, their ideology of success itself is totally different. So for them, most of the people, success means to build houses, to make a lot of money, to live a luxurious lifestyle, to have ample financial backup, and then I don't know what. So they have this as a success pattern. I don't blame them. This is how the world is running. But Ketu is very much apart from this particular thing, and this particular native will think in a very different way. So they have multiple facets. They can do many things in their life. They are passive physically, they are not that active, but mentally they are extremely active, very active. And it can also take to another level where a person can become anxiety prone, get into attention deficiency, get into speech problems, eye defects, all this because Ketu gets malefically placed when it is placed with any other planet. But if it is placed without any planet and alone in the ascendant and strong, let us say in the sign of Scorpio, in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha nakshatra, or very close to Mula nakshatra, it is exalted there. So these are the positions where if the ascendant falls, very, very strong Ketu. So a strong Ketu makes a person a silent achiever. A weak Ketu makes a person a cribbing, pessimistic, depressed person. So now just imagine the variation. A silent achiever and a cribbing pessimist. These are the variations you get with a single placement of Ketu in the Lagna. You need to know which particular Ketu is placed there. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. We also make a lot of mistakes when we do analysis. So it's a human error which has to be understood, and we also rectify very fast. We can change ourselves, but thing is, we keep learning every day. Every astrologer also learns every day. It's not that we are all a learned lot that we know everything. Nothing like that. So Ketu is a seeker. He loves to know things. He actually wants to know the crux of the whatever phenomena is happening. He wants to know the crux. So he goes deep to the bottom. So he is a seeker. These people have deep faith in any particular path, undeterred. Once they have the faith, they are undeterred. It's as good as taking sannyasa. But Ketu in the Lagna, usually these people don't take sannyasa. These people, we call them as yogis, people who can do hatha yoga, people who can achieve a lot of things in life, but with very minimal requirement. They are not their requirement of social requirement would be very less. They would live on very minimal simplistic lifestyle, I am trying to tell. So if alone it is good, difficulty in managing samsaric responsibilities. So samsara means this life, the cog and the wheel which has got locked up and it is running continuously, and you have got locked up into this particular, what we call as Maya, the mirage of life. You have got stuck into this. So they don't want to get stuck into this. So they always would want to escape this and go out. They don't want to get stuck into the regular marriage, job, earning, running, rat race. They don't like this. So Ketu usually would want to have his or her own small setup, a small business, would want to consult, would not want to be under somebody, or would not want to have somebody below them. So it's like they do not want this setup at all. So they would want to have a very separate kind of a setup. So they do not want to get locked up into these responsibilities. Okay, so they can easily get detached from these responsibilities. Given an opportunity, they can leave everything and go away. So the point is that if the Lagnadipati is weak, the person will crib. If the Lagnadipati is strong, the person will be able to manage. Simple. So if Ketu is badly placed with any planet, I am telling that with any planet means starting from Sun till Saturn, and even Rahu cannot be placed, right? From Sun till Saturn, this mistake keeps happening. When conjunctions keep happening, Rahu cannot be placed with Ketu. That is because Rahu and Ketu are always 180 degrees from each other. So from Sun to Saturn, any planet sitting along with Ketu will play a part of bad part in spoil part of destroying the capacity of learning in the native's chart. The person gets distorted, distracted, confused, and it might also cause difficulty in the body, particularly the face, and also that particular planet, which part it represents in the body, might also suffer due to some deficiency or due to some difficulty like hormonal difficulties, malfunctioning, pituitary malfunctioning in the brain, the blood rushing, sometimes getting clots, so many things. I have seen charts with Ketu and Mercury in the Lagna, people suffering from epilepsy when Mercury and Ketu and Chandra, all three are badly posited in the chart. So going ahead, these people, if it is strong, these people love to get into PhDs, they want to do research. They are very unemotional when it is along with, particularly with Saturn. They become very flaccid, very, very stable. it's very difficult to even move them. They become like stone. We call them very rigid or frozen kind of a thought process. Once they get stuck to a particular path or a field with Ketu and Saturn, very difficult to even change their path. But anyway, if it is a right path, then let them do it. The thing is that if they choose the wrong path, they become very dangerous to the society. So, loss in investments and businesses due to erratic investment or pattern or decision making. So, this happens when once again Ketu is badly posited with any planet in the Lagna. Okay, so loss in job due to disinterest. That happens even when Ketu is lone in the Lagna, and the disinterest also happens, and if because of this, getting detached away from the samsaric responsibilities, Ketu wants to do it as early as possible. So even from the job is also a requirement very much for the samsara, running the samsara, that is running this livelihood. So leaving the job also happens because of attitudinal difficulty, because these people think they are superior when compared to the others. They think that they know things much better, and they do not want to get associated with people who think very gross. So they always feel that it's not correct to get associated with these type of people, so they leave the job itself. So we usually call these people as perfectionists. So just tell me, people who have Ketu in their Lagna, how peculiarly particular you are with regard to some of your likings, some of your attachments, and some of your hobbies, whether you would compromise that for your family, whether you would compromise for with anything else, whether can you compromise, or it is like, no, I cannot compromise, I have to. So you need to tell that, because if you comment, people will come to know about the attachment a person has with any one particular thing. Like for example, people traveling, they get stuck to it. People eating things which are not socially eaten, bizarre things, so they get stuck to that. So many things, people even going into research into subjects which are very different, they are obsessively stuck to these types of subjects. So this is a very tough subject to discuss. Actually, Ketu is not such a easy planet to discuss, because it doesn't open up. You can find a plant easily. You can identify a plant by its flower. You can identify it by its leaf. You can identify you can identify the plant by its structure. Big tree or something. You can identify it. But Ketu is something like subterranean. It's around below the soil. You can identify Ketu only when the mushrooms come up to sprout, because until then the fungi was always below the ground. So these Ketu people don't open up. They don't easily come out and speak. Most of them are very silent introverts. Very less Ketu are open, and if they are open, they are very, very open. They go full into protest. But that's what we need to understand Ketu better. I would want people to react, come out and give some comments on their position with Ketu in the Lagna and what they feel about with their life. So thank you very much for today's class.